In the 1920s, the government recommendation for food consumption was based on using what resources were available to your home and what was cost effective to you. We have now transitioned to a guide that is visually appealing to us. It uses different colors and represents size portions on plates. It uses these colors to gain the consumer's attention. I have studied government documents and become familiar with this subject through research. It is important for all of us to be aware of how our food guidelines and standards have changed over the years, especially if we take into consideration the growing numbers of obesity in America. Through research and improved technology, we have evolved from rudimentary food guides to a more effective, well-designed guide. Today, I will discuss 3 different versions of the USDA food guideline with you guys. I will begin with the Farmer's Bulletin from 1920. Then I will discuss the 1992 food pyramid. And finally, I will introduce you to our current version, the 2011 My Plate. Originally, we had no official guide. The Department of Agriculture published suggestions in farmers' bulletins. One thing that they suggested was less nutritional foods and more filling foods. This guide stated that children from 3 to 10 years of age should have a well and neat looking plate. So it was also about looks, but they said that the main staples would be bread, eggs, cheese, milk, cereal, and rice. Said if a child had plenty of these, then they would be satisfied. They also stated that foods could be interchangeable. They suggested if because of cost or if you had more of one item than another at your home, you could use that instead. A quote from the article states that meat, eggs, rice, cheese have similar uses for your body, so you could easily replace one with the other, which we know is not correct. It also had no graphics. It was a black and white print. The only photo was a real printed photograph. Now that we have looked at a guide that lacked research and modern technology, I will tell you about the 1992 food pyramid. It was a little better in nutrition. It had a total diet approach, so it included adequate nutritional value, and it also started putting in portion sizes. So this is the first time we started portion sizes. M. Nessel states in the 1998 article in defense of the USDA food guide pyramid that this guide is currently facing criticism. The caloric intake in this guide is more than what we need. It also still states that bread, pasta, rice, that food group is our main serving. It suggests 6 to 11 servings of that. The graphics are better in this. That's another change in the 1992 guide. We now have color. We have pictures. They've broken it into different food groups. And you can see here that the main one is our bread, rice, pasta, cereal. Okay, My Plate has taken, after reviewing the 1992 food pyramid, this brings us to our current guide, the 2011 My Plate. My Plate has taken into consideration nutrition research and taken advantage of modern technology and graphics. According to Levine in their 2012 article evaluating My Plate, this is based off the 2010 Dietary Guidelines for America report. So we put in even more research into this, and we're now not thinking about what's cost effective, but what is good for our bodies. This is also different in that it is intended to educate on nutrition. This is promoted by community nutrition workers, by educators. Instead of just being posted in a farmer's bulletin, we are actually teaching this guide to people. It includes different languages. It's written in multiple language so everybody can understand it. It takes into consideration vegan diets. It also includes a super tracker tool, so it is now online and on the website for us. And our graphics have included a visual representation of how much should be on each plate. So this is where we come into the visually appealing guide. Today I walked you guys through 3 different food guides from our history, beginning with farmers' bulletins, then we talked about the food guide pyramid, and we concluded with My Plate. Through research and improvement technology, we have evolved from rudimentary food guidelines to a well-effective designed guide. I mentioned before the importance of being aware of our food guidelines due to the growing number of obese people. Hopefully, when we think about feeding ourselves and our children, we'll refer to the healthy guidelines nutrition experts have set for us.